welcome to the Public Global. I'm Neelu Vyas. There seems to be no end to US President Donald Trump's love affair with the India Pakistan conflict, coming up each time with exaggerated and unverified claims. Now the now the president has revised his count of jets down during the 3-day hostilities in May. This, of course, while once again reminding the world of how he played the peacemaker in getting India and Pakistan to reach a ceasefire deal through the trade threats. Now, the event might have been a business forum, but for Trump, a master salesman, every stage is an opportunity to showcase his credentials and boast about the number of wars he has stopped. Now, what are Trump's claims now? The latest one, addressing the America Business Forum in Miami, Trump now claimed that 8 planes were effectively shot down during the 7th to 10th May Operation Sindoor. And what exactly he said, and I'm going to quote, I was in the midst of a trade deal with both of them, that is India and Pakistan. And then I read on the front page of a certain newspaper, I heard they were going to war. 7 planes were shot down, and the eighth was really badly wounded. 8 planes were shot down, essentially. Now, this is a number on which the Indian government has been quiet, and not many people have spoken about. It's a hushed matter, but Donald Trump tries to gain brownie points by quoting new numbers. It started with 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, and now today it is 8. And this figure of 8 has come on a day when Bihar is going to polls. When just a day before, Rahul Gandhi has exposed vote chori in Haryana, how the entire mandate was stolen. So has Trump really muddied the waters for Prime Minister Modi and for the BJP? We'll try and understand all of this. Joining me this evening is independent media analyst Siddharth Sharma. Siddharth, thank you so much for joining us. This new figure of 8 planes, 7 planes were downed and eighth one was badly wounded. What is Trump trying to tell Prime Minister Modi?
Well, whenever a person like Mr. Donald Trump, who is the president of US, speaks, he does not speak in isolation. He speaks with certain data at his hand, and also there is a message, inbuilt message, inherent message in that. We also have to understand that in the US embassy in India, that is in Delhi, 2005, it has 2,500 staff. That means that whatever is happening in India today, the elections, the Bihar elections, these up-to-date reports reach Mr. Trump every night. We also know that after Operation Sindoor or whatever these kind of skirmishes, the first place where the Prime Minister of India decided to come back and give a statement was in Bihar. And he very strangely spoke in English from in a public rally there regarding after the Pahalgam event. So it's very clear that Mr. Trump knows that Operation Sindoor and the ceasefire is a pain point of the Indian Prime Minister. He has already wounded. He used the word wound. An aircraft doesn't get wounded. An aircraft gets damaged. Mr. Trump is an Englishman. He knows pretty good English. When he uses the word called wound on an aircraft, which has to the right word that is used is damaged. That means that his messaging is to Mr. Modi ji personally. A wound is something that happens to a person. So, in fact, he is rubbing salt into the wounds of our Indian Prime Minister. He knows Operation Sindoor ceasefire is a pain point, a very delicate point. The Indian Prime Minister is on the defensive regarding Operation Sindoor for two reasons. If Pakistan was so badly bruised by the Indian Army Armed Forces, why did India accept the ceasefire when the BJP's own slogan has been POK will also be taken back and the Akhand Bharat will also be taken back? So if the Indian Army and the armed forces during Operation Sindoor, as per the Indian Godi media channels, had reached the doors of Islamabad and Balochistan, was flying tricolors and the Karachi port was destroyed, why did India come back from that? So literally India had overrun Pakistan. India literally bulldozed Pakistan. So what you have bulldozed, what you have won, why did you leave it? Now that clearly shows that, but the fact is that the Indian Prime Minister himself said that the ceasefire was agreed. Now Mr. Trump has taken that credit, and now Mr. Trump is making sure, and in the last 6 months or so, it's been nearly more than 56 times that Mr. Trump has openly said that he has been instrumental in uh, making this ceasefire happen. So he has literally taken credit for that. And the Indian Prime Minister has not yet even once responded to Mr. Trump that, boss, You can just mind your own business. This is nothing to do with you. It was our decision. He has not replied to him. That goes on to show that Mr. Trump knows that this is a pain point of the Indian Prime Minister. The Indian Prime Minister is also on record, and it's proven beyond doubt that he is trying to evade Mr. Trump, meeting Mr. Trump one to one, be it in the G7 meeting in Canada or the recent ASEAN meeting in Malaysia, wherever Mr. Trump is reaching, even if it is in your neighborhood, the Indian Prime Minister is avoiding meeting him. That goes on to show that Mr. Trump knows pretty well now that the Indian Prime Minister is on the defensive as regards to the ceasefire, and he also knows that the Indian Prime Minister and the entire BJP ecosystem is trying to sell Operation Sindoor as a success in the Bihar elections. And please remember, 2,500 people, 2,500 Americans are daily reporting, sitting in Delhi to Washington, what is happening. So they know that in Bihar election, on the day of the polling, if you set a cat amongst the pigeons in the BJP ecosystem, it will be very difficult for the Prime Minister to respond. And by not responding, that will obviously affect the voters, because the opposition and even channels like you, even the neutral people, will start asking this very obvious question, that why isn't the Indian Prime Minister answering to Mr. Trump? And we know that the Indian Prime Minister has been evading Mr. Trump. So it is like a catch-22 situation that Mr. Trump has put Mr. Modi in. And he's trying to pressurize Mr. Modi because already on February 13th of this year, when the Indian Prime Minister visited White House, and both the leaders signed a document called Compact, which is a 33-page document. It is available on the White House website as well as the Indian government website. According to that, the Indian Prime Minister has signed on the treaty called Compact, which says that America will become India's biggest oil importer. Things like alfalfa hay that is used for cattle, that is cattle feed. Cattle feed will also come from America, and duck meat will also come from America to India. All these three things. What I'm trying to say is that such silly things, such very small things like cattle feed, the grass that the cattle eats, and duck meat. These kind of things, Indian Prime Minister has agreed in that compact. So, and after that, we also know that the trade deal has not yet happened. The Indian Prime Minister is evading. So he's pressurizing the Indian Prime Minister to come to the table and finish off this deal and basically operationalize the deal.
Siddharth, the most crucial question is that this number 8 bombshell has been dropped by Donald Trump on a day when Bihar is voting for the first phase. What do you think is going to be the impact? And probably he knows that this election is so crucial for Prime Minister Modi, and he's deliberately said it. Otherwise, all this while he was maintaining that there were 7 planes which were down, and then he added a suffix to it saying that the 8th one was badly wounded. It seems that he had Bihar in his mind and he deliberately did that. Is Trump a smart player? He understands the regional politics of Bihar equally too well. How important that's for Modi?
I think we all have to agree on one thing. Even if in Operation Sindoor, America was directly not involved, but American arsenal, American weapons were in Pakistan's hands, as well as war machinery was in India's hand. India also has aircraft from US make. Pakistan also has aircraft of US make. So I'm sure that even if the American military or the American government was not involved in Operation Sindoor, it was minute to minute trying to, through satellite imagery, etc., trying to be up to date of what has happened. So when Mr. Trump today, he did not say 8 planes were shot down. He said that he still said that 7 planes were shot down, but one was also damaged. So it is going, he is giving a message that I know certain inside information that you guys are hiding from your own people. And it is a high time now that before the fall of 2025, that is 31st of December, whatever you've signed sitting in my White House on February 13th, the deadline for that is 31st of December. Not even 60 days are left. So you are not ready to operationalize it. You are evading me wherever on all kinds of forums. So it is high time that I know certain things with which are inside your skeleton, inside your closet, the skeletons inside your closet. I know how many, which country sustained what kind of damages during Operation Sindoor, whether it was India, whether it was Pakistan, whether a few belong to Pakistan, whether a few belong to India. I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming days, if the same evasion from the Prime Minister starts happening, he will also start giving the breakup, that what kind of aircrafts were damaged, where they fell, whether they were Indian, whether they were Pakistani. So because it's like we have to understand.
like what you're saying, that he will start giving graphic details of what all aircrafts were down, in what manner were they down. So has the beginning been made today by Donald Trump? Of course, so far we only saw the numbers, but today the way he described that the eighth aircraft was badly wounded. So this an ominous sign? It's a bad omen for Prime Minister Modi, because now Donald Trump will not stop. He's going to blurt out more details.
Exactly. As the saying goes, the devil lies in the details. So right now, the devil is giving the message to Indian Prime Minister that I know the details. Of course, he would have known because he has satellite imagery, he has intelligence information. Even in the Mahabharata time, if Sanjay could witness the whole Mahabharata firsthand, no surprise that in 21st century, Mr. Donald Trump would have that kind of wherewithal and technology to have a look, to have a what do you say, ringside view of what really happened during this war. And he knows all the details. So today he's giving a message to the Prime Minister that it is not just out of the hat that I'm giving numbers out, because the more Donald Trump also knows that the more times he blurts out these kind of numbers, or India Pakistan ceasefire thing, he also becomes uh, laughing stock in the eyes of the world. Forget about India and Pakistan. There are 199 other countries. 199 other countries would be thinking, why Mr. Trump is speaking about India and Pakistan so many times? About other countries, when he speaks, he just stops by taking their names. He says that Cambodia, Vietnam war, I stopped Kosovo war. But when it comes to India, Pakistan, he gets into details that both were nuclear countries, both were having trade deals. So right now, he's giving a message that I know more details than I am divulging. And today, I am giving a new tranche. It's a new installment. It's like a Netflix new series, a new series, the new season of a Netflix series, saying that I now know that 7 aircrafts were down, but the eighth was damaged. Now tomorrow he might also say what kind of damage happened, which aircraft was it, where did it, where the damage happened, that damages happened. So the more Mr. Trump comes out with details, because we know the government of India has been very vague and opaque about whatever has happened during operation. We know that the Operation Sindoor, it was successful, but we don't know that. It's just like we know that India has won a match, but we don't know the scorecard. Nobody knows who scored how many runs, who took how many wickets. It's just like tomorrow morning I read in the newspaper that India has beaten Australia. Fine, but if I want to know the details, how much our captain Shubman Gill scored or how many wickets did Siraj take, there is complete silence on it. So, Mr. Donald Trump is saying that I know the scorecard. I'll give you a scorecard. When this kind of scorecard comes out, it will become very embarrassing for the government of India, because he is going to give out exactly those things that you are trying to hide. So this is going to be very interesting, and especially for Bihar elections today, because we have to understand one thing. I basically, my ancestors are from Bihar, and I have my ancestral village even in Bihar, right? Even today. So we know that Bihar, there might be a little bit of poverty in Bihar, but the intelligence quotient of a Bihari is pretty strong. That's why most of the IAS officers and IPS officers and UPSC, what do you say, successful candidates come out of Bihar, IIT, all kinds of competitive examinations. More than the proportion of other, compared to other states, people from Bihar come out. That goes on to show that Bihar people of Bihar are pretty intelligent and pretty sharp about the current affairs. So when Mr. Donald Trump says this, and the BJP till yesterday had been having a roadshow saying, taking credit for Operation Sindoor. In fact, they were also planning across Bihar to send those Sindoor boxes, which luckily they somehow good sense prevailed upon them, and they stopped going ahead with it. Otherwise, it would have boomeranged on them big time. So today, Biharis would be speaking that, our Modi ji is saying that I successfully conducted Operation Sindoor, but then Mr. Donald Trump, who is the Dada of this world, who has unquestionably has become the Vishwa Guru after he has after his second term. Before his second term, I think Modi ji would have claimed to be the Vishwa Guru, but unquestionably after Mr. Trump has come, there is only a single Dada in the world, although the only bully in the world is Mr. Trump. So he is the single most Vishwa Guru, and if he is claiming something which the Indian government is not claiming, in fact the Indian government is trying to evade, this will become a very embarrassing moment, a very, very awkward situation for BJP as far as Bihar elections are concerned. Please understand that Bihar, only the first phase will happen today. On 11th, the second phase is going to happen. So between now and 11th, if Mr. Trump decides to come up with more details, like which pilot was flying which aircraft, where did it get damaged, which exact missile hit that, where from where that missile took off. So these kind of details, and let us understand, Mr. Trump knows all these things for two reasons. One is technologically, the United States has so much advanced technology that it could have seen all those things through satellite imagery. The second, the timing of the expose, their own 2,500 staff people sitting in New Delhi embassy, they would be giving reports every day about India and the Bihar elections to Mr. Trump. By the every night before he sleeps on the bed, he would have got a file about India every day. What is the latest position? And he wants India's trade deal to happen. We have to also understand that getting a deal with India is also important for Mr. Trump, but he wants to do that deal on his terms. Not, I would correct myself, not on his own terms, but on the terms already accepted by Indian Prime Minister during his White House visit. He doesn't want any new terms to happen. The problem is, after signing, Indian Prime Minister realized that there were a lot of things that he should have. There were a lot of issues in those in the treaty which he would have rather not signed. But the problem is, in the US, you've been to the US lately. In the US, if a deal is struck, you have to honor that deal, whether it is a profit making deal or a loss making deal. A deal is a deal. That's what the US says. In the US, there is a very clear slang going on. A deal is a deal. You have to honor the deal. So I think the United States president wants to say that there is a deal already happened. You have to operationalize the deal. If you're not going to operationalize it, I am going to pressurize you in multiple ways, whatever ways possible. Be it, sometimes it can be Adani, it can become Adani, sometimes it can become Operation Sindoor, sometimes it can become something else. But he has multiple leverages with him right now.
All right, Siddharth. So we'll have to end it here. Thank you so much for joining on the Public Global. Thank you.